On YouTube. Griffin here, coming back to you guys with another live stream. Getting everything set up here, streaming from the cell phone today. Hair's looking a little messy. Wanted to give you all a live Q&A because I know I've been super busy lately. It's June, end of June, last day of June. Hopefully you all have had a great summer so far and you're staying healthy and all that good stuff with the heat out there. You know how it is in the pest control business, pest control industry. Shout out to all of, all you pest control techs. I know how it is doing it. I'm still doing it myself. We just, of course, we're in the process of hiring our first technician right now. And of course, for those of you that'll be tuning in for the first time to the channel and don't know who I am, I'll give a quick introduction. Of course, like always, my name is Griffin Thomas. I'm the owner, of course, of Preferred Pest Management in the Dallas, Texas area. We've been in business since 2020. We're coming up on 3 full years in business towards the end of October, early November. And on this channel, I just essentially kind of document everything. Looks like the tripod's trying to kind of fall back on me. We pretty much just kind of document everything that works, doesn't work, all of that good stuff, just so I wish that whenever I was looking at starting my business that I had done a little bit more research, not just research, because obviously there's only so much research you can do at the end of the day, but I wish there was more outlets out there, be it on YouTube, on the internet, of just pest control owners that are, in all stages of the business, regardless if it's, a one-man operator, a CEO of, 10 to 100 employees, whatever the case may be. So regardless of how big my company gets in the future, I plan on continuing to not just post these videos, but who knows, wherever the internet takes us, of course, regardless if it's on YouTube, Google, podcasts, whatever the case may be. Speaking of which, if you're not in our groups, we have some totally free groups for you guys that you can join. Sorry, this little podcast, this little tripod I got is not cooperating very well with me this evening. Trying to do a stream from the living room for you all while I have the home to myself. Like I was mentioning, we do have totally free groups that you guys can join as well. How's it going there, Rat King? San Antonio, about 3 hours or so, 3 to 4 hours from me. Sure, it's hot as hell down there as well. Hope everything's doing well out that way for you. But like I was mentioning, of course, we have our totally free groups that you all can join for anyone that's tuning in for the first time. Links for those should be in the description box of this video and all the videos that we do. And of course, if this is your first time tuning into these live Q&As, these are specifically for those of you that are tuning in live, kind of like little appreciation live streams. For those of you that are willing to tune in, take time out of your day, showing that you have the dedication to be here and try to, pick the brain of, I hate to call myself like an expert or anything. I mean, I've only been in the industry for like 6 years now, first of all, but second of all, like I said, all I'm really doing is just documenting my journey. But of course, whole point being, you're showing the dedication to be here because you want to start, grow, be it your pest control business, your knowledge of business, your knowledge of, pest control in general. There's stuff in even the aspects of killing bugs that even I'm learning on a day-to-day basis. But if you have any questions whatsoever, feel free to shout it out in the chat. It lets me know as you guys post questions in there, and I'll answer them as they come in to the best of my abilities. And of course, if I don't have an answer for you, I'll be totally upfront and let you know that I don't have an answer. I'll probably even try to go look for it myself because I'm sure it would help me as well. And with that, as the questions come in, I have a couple questions just straight from memory that I know that I get because, of course, we have, over 500 videos on this channel overall, and we have like 100 plus, at least 50 plus at the minimum, but probably close to 100 plus videos on pest control now as well, the pest control business, starting and growing your pest control business, that, we continue to get questions, on a day-to-day basis. And one of the most common questions that I get when it comes to, having a pest control startup or start. Oh, here we go. How's it going, Johnny Williams? Where do you get your reusable booties? Oh, that's a good question, actually. So you must have just seen the video I posted, what was it, yesterday or the day before maybe, about my truck tour. So yeah, the reusable booties I actually got from Amazon, believe it or not. Seems like we get everything from Amazon anymore. But yeah, we got them off Amazon, 3 for like 10 or 12 bucks. Amazing deal. I just typed in, I think I typed in either reusable booties or reusable shoe covers, something like that. They had multiple colors too. Like I said, I do wish they were slightly bigger. If you have like cowboy boots like we do down here in Texas, they fit a little snug, but they do still fit. I wear a size, what are they, 10 and a half, 11, are those D or E, I forget which, thickness of boot and whatnot, but, cowboy boots are pretty big overall and they still fit over them. So, I wish they were slightly bigger, but they definitely do the job for sure, as long as you aren't wearing like some monster size 12, 13 boot or anything like that. Trying to see Rat King's comment there. About to enter my 4th month in operation. Awesome. Did 3,000 my first month, 4,000 my second. So you're going on up, 5K third, around 70. Wow, awesome. This is one thing I hate about doing it on the phone, is the comments will like go away and I have to hit the screen. Around 70 quarter clients. How would you rate this growth? I would say for 4 months, that's pretty good. Majority from next door. That's interesting. I guess I'm from next door too, but not a lot. Disposable ones. Yeah, exactly. Me personally, I'll use, I think you said the same thing, disposable on outside. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I still keep some of my, I don't have very many left, but I keep some of my disposable ones as well. And yeah, if they're like really muddy, I'll just use my disposable ones, and I'll use my reusable ones when my shoes are clean. Sometimes I'll have, some dried up mud or something in them, and if they get too dirty, I just throw them in the washer and they're good to go. But yeah, there's a lot of them on Amazon for a very good, reasonable price. For $3 a pair, $2 to $3 a pair, even $5 a pair. I'd be willing to pay $5 for some good ones. Those are really nice to have for sure, especially for, I will say I don't really suggest using them, of course, for like flea jobs or, definitely flea jobs, or probably even bed bug jobs. For those, I'd probably stick with the disposables as well, just for, obvious reasons. Definitely a little conducive condition there, to say the least. But yeah, they're really nice for, your general pest control. And to your other point, about rating your growth, I would say that's excellent growth. I was actually just taking a look at our recurring, and I'm definitely trying to hit on that a lot harder. We've had a lot more success this season so far with getting people to shift from the one-time clientele to recurring. We're doing kind of, I don't want to say manipulation of numbers or anything like that, but just, tweaking moving the numbers around to where it seems like it's really a no-brainer to go ahead and do the continual quarterly pest control. Specifically, for example, an average, 2,000 square foot home, we're telling them, our one-time service, it comes with just a 30-day warranty. That's going to be $225 plus tax. Or, you can go ahead and get 1 full year, 365 days of coverage for your pest control service, and that's going to cost you only $450 for the year. So which sounds like a better deal to you, Mrs. Jones? Is the better deal to go ahead and just pay for 30 days of coverage for $225, half of the $450, or would you rather have 12x the coverage, 365 days for, just double that price? And that's worked out a lot for us. Let's see. Johnny says, awesome. Thanks for answering the question. Have a lot of great content. Oh, I appreciate it. Be starting my own pest control company. Man, there's a lot of you starting your companies right now. I'd love to hear that. I know, congrats on that for sure. Yeah, pull that trigger. I know we also had My World just started his company about a month or two ago. My World is like his YouTube name. He's been following the channel for like a year, and he just pulled the trigger about a month or two ago as well. Sounds like you, Rat King, just started yours, this year as well. We got a lot of you hopping in the game. I love it. I love it. And by the way, if you're liking the stream so far, hit that thumbs up button. It lets me know that you all like these streams, and it helps other people that are looking to start their pest control business, see it in the future. Because a lot of people see the content after it goes from like live to a video and all that good stuff. And it lets me know, like I said, that you guys like it. But no, that's great growth. I mean, I think you said something like 70 recurring, and you've been in business for what, 4 months? So you're selling at least 15 to 20. And there's My World right there, speaking of the devil. We were talking about people just starting their pest control companies. Nice to see you again, as always. But Rat King, you were talking about that, you've been in business, it sounds like, for about 4 months now. This might be your 4th month, if I read it right. And you're already at like 70. So, I mean, you're doing well over, 15 to 20 recurring a month right now. That's definitely a good number for, I'm assuming that, like you said, you're getting them mostly from next door. So I'm assuming, like us, your advertising is very slim, if any, in terms of ad spend. That's not bad at all. I mean, in all honesty, when we spend nothing on advertising, if I get over 10 to 15 recurring in a month, that's seen as a pretty decent month. Now, of course, we want to maximize the earnings on that recurring, which I actually have a video that I just shot today, because I've had the house to myself. My wife took the kids to her mother's for a little bit this evening, and I got a lengthy video, but a lot of really good information in terms of numbers and how we try to force the value in terms of upselling, but we're not really upselling. We're making it sound, again, number manipulation, quote unquote, solve the problem first, but then tell them, we're going to also take care of this and this and this for you, and it's only going to be this rate, let's do this type of thing, essentially. So be looking out for that video. I'm going to post that probably tomorrow or Sunday. Like I said, I just shot it, got to edit it, all that good stuff, but that'll be, I think, a great video for those of you that are looking at, the number aspect for sure. But yeah, great numbers so far for you. Let's see. How's the marketing service with Gorilla Desk? I thought I might have brought this up. Pretty sure I did. You may have not seen it either yet. We aren't actually using them for the actual SEO services. We haven't used them now for, I want to say, 2 months. Now, the website that they built, that's the beauty of what they do and what they did. The website they built, all that they did was they transferred it over fully into our name. We had to go find another host for the website, so we're using Kinsta for the website. Kinsta is one of the best, in the world, really, not just the nation, the world. Plus, they have a actual server in Dallas, Texas, which makes the connection, between our customers that are accessing our website and our website, that speed that much quicker, of course. But we're not using Gorilla Desk for that anymore. We are still using their CRM for the scheduling and all of that good stuff. I even tell them to this day, we stay in contact with those guys, because sometimes occasionally we'll have a little question about the website still, and they'll still help us with that as well. We tell them we definitely love and appreciate them, and we definitely love the CRM. It's by far, in my opinion, the best CRM until you get to where you've got at least 20 plus technicians. But yeah, no, I'm doing all the SEO myself. So for example, if you go type in Preferred Pest Management, Rowlett, Texas, Dallas, Texas, whatever the case may be, you'll see, our Google page where I'm the one that's managing literally all of that right now, which is the beauty of me hiring a technician right now who I'm going to start training this upcoming week, which in Texas, there's so many requirements for getting guys trained, but is what it is at the end of the day. You gotta, just a little tip for those of you in Texas, you gotta give them 40 hours of OJT, 20 hours of class training, and then before they take their technician exam, which you can do this at any point within that first year, they need to sit in, an 8 hour class that's a class that is actually certified, like through TDA or whatever, and then they can finally take the exam. Once they take the exam, then, of course they'd be a technician and not an apprentice anymore. But yeah, that'll free up a lot of time for us on the SEO, which I love doing the SEO stuff too, so that'll be cool. Rat King said 100% no cost advertising, have a business profile next door, but my wife uses her profile. Yes, that's awesome as well. I love when the wife pitches in as well, because I'm always getting suspended on Facebook, as you guys know. With the industry getting to use car salesman feel, all my clients love it. Oh yeah. How you guys feel about Yelp? And I feel like I might have answered this to my world, not in this stream, but me personally, I hadn't had no success with Yelp. From time to time, I will get an organic lead, which is pretty cool. In all honesty, it's just another platform essentially, that you can get leads from. I definitely suggest going in and optimizing your Yelp profile. The shitty part about Yelp, what I found is, man, if you try to do anything on the profile, they will start just bombarding you with calls, trying to get you to use their platform for advertising. It gets to the point where, luckily they left me alone finally for the most part. They're about like Angie's List or whatever it is, really. It got to the point where, I would just see this, was it like a Chicago number, I think, like a 312 or something, and I would just reject it, and occasionally it would actually be a customer, so, oops. But no, with Yelp personally, I hadn't had much success, but I will say there are a lot of people that do have success with Yelp ads that I hear about. I'm just so far not one of them personally. How's it going, Luis? Hope everything's going well. How do I start off with Google Ads? I just made a simple website. Define simple website as well, because you can have a simple website that is still optimized. Sometimes it can depend on the quote unquote builder. Did you go through WordPress, Wix, Weebly, Google Sites? There's so many out there that sometimes that can limit your SEO as well if it's too simple, quote unquote. As for your Google Ads question, there's a couple ways, of course, you can get started with Google Ads. I do have, of course, our Google Ads series. I made a playlist of our Google Ads YouTube videos that I've made over the last 6 months or so, and just a website with my basic info. Okay, I'll get into that here in a second. As for your Google Ads question, like I said, we have that playlist as well. That's a very great place to start, in my opinion. That literally what I show you all on there has helped me, get consistent leads. Sometimes they are pricey, especially early on, but as Google starts to learn that ad, and as you can get kind of more loose with the exact words versus phrase match, never do broad match for your keywords. Always do exact match early on, and then once Google kind of learns the search terms that you're going after, then you can start taking those brackets off and doing more of a broad match as well. And then you'll start lowering your CPC, which will ultimately lower, of course, your cost per acquisition through Google Ads as well. So hopefully that helps with that. As you were talking about with your website, it sounds like you may have one of those, what are called one-page websites. If that's the case, those are almost impossible to really optimize. They're great for a landing page, but in terms of optimizing it, you're probably not going to get as much organic Google search traffic in terms of website traffic through Google search. The, yes, one page. Okay. Yeah, I may even have a feeling that I know who you use, but I don't want to call them out or anything. Yeah, so if you have a one page, it'll work for the time being. I would suggest long term saving up a little bit of money and paying somebody who's willing to help you build a WordPress website. Like I said, I didn't even build our WordPress website. I had it built through Gorilla Desk. They charged an initial fee of, I think, well, this was the initial fee for our Google page management as well as the website. the package was like $1,200 roughly for them to get everything set up. You could reach out to them. It's easy to like schedule a sales call. You might even want to look at reaching out to them to see how much it would cost. Just be upfront, say I'm not, unless if you are interested in their SEO services, by all means, you could do that as well. But if you wanted a good website builder, from people who are in the pest control industry, you could contact Gorilla Desk Sales or whatever. They have where you can book like a 15-minute sales call with them and let them know that, hey, I just want a website built through you guys. I've seen examples of websites that you guys built, and I like them, and I want a WordPress website. Can we just, do the website stuff? Like, can you just handle my website stuff for me to where I can, optimize it myself and this and that, and they may be able to work something out with you on that. Because you want to get a website to where you can have your homepage, obviously, and I think I've even done a couple of videos on like the website stuff, but not a whole lot. Plan on doing more for you in the future, but you want to have, of course, a website where you have your homepage. So say, for example, pest.com, right? We'll just use your name, luispestcontrol.com, and that'd be your homepage, and then at the top you're going to have your menu where you're sending signals to Google, and I'm going to do a video on how all of this will actually help your local SEO as well, because I've started seeing a giant boost in local SEO recently since I've been paying more attention to this. Within your menu, you're going to, especially the top menu there, you're going to have, of course, the basic stuff, services with a drop down of your services, locations with a drop down of your locations, and then you're going to have your quote unquote content. Some people put blog, some people put video. I'm actually even going to be updating ours, because instead of having, we're still going to have our generic blog, but the most important part of it is once you break down this is within the locations tab now. Say you have Luis Pest Control, Dallas, Texas, right? For your Dallas, Texas, is your service location. From there, it's going to break down into service pages. You have your standard service pages, then you have your location page. So you'd have Dallas, and then from there, it branches down into Dallas Pest Control, Dallas Rodent Control, Dallas Squirrel Removal, Dallas Termite Control, all these services that you service in Dallas. And then from there, you take another step down into what's called topical authority, which is your blogs and video content and stuff like that, where, say, for example, again, sticking with Luis Pest Control, service tab, location tab, drop down, Dallas, drop down, pest control, drop down. Now you're at the topical authority level where you're posting your content. You would do an article about how much does pest control cost in Dallas, Texas, just for an example, right? It's something that, people search all the time, how much does pest control cost near me, or how much does pest control cost? Just stuff like that in general. You want to show that you have that topical authority, and you start posting a bunch of content about each category. Focus on just one at a time. This is where I kind of messed up early on, was I was trying to stretch myself out as far as possible, and in all honesty, I just mentally drained myself when it came to it. Focus on one city, one area that you service, your main target area at first. Focus on one service category within that service area. Build up a bunch of topical authority. Have at least 10 to 20 different articles that link back up to, for example, Dallas, Texas. You want to have internal links for the link structure. You want to have, whenever you're reading an article, for example, sorry about that. You want to have the proper link structure, so you would put in there, a link, a hyperlink that would say, like, learn more about our pest control service in Dallas, Texas, and you'd highlight that, link it back up to your Dallas pest control service page. Hopefully that kind of makes sense. Like I said, I'll do more videos about this for you guys, because it is very important for your website. But to your point, Luis, when you have a website that's just a one-page website, you're pretty much unable to do this. So you need a website that is built through a company like Wix, WordPress, Squarespace is another one that's gaining a lot of traction. Weebly isn't the worst, but it's definitely not the best either. There's quite a few of them out there, but the best ones are going to be, oh my gosh, what is it? The one that I use, WordPress, followed by probably Wix, more than like, or no, I'd probably say Squarespace over Wix at this point. Squarespace is very similar to WordPress. So hopefully that kind of helps answer that. Let's see. Seems to me that everyone seems to have different advertising for sure. Let's see. Pro Kill Pest Solutions is the name of my company. We are based in New Jersey. Awesome, awesome. Yeah, no, that's awesome. Yeah, so I guess I didn't know that you started. Did you just start your company? If you're still watching, let me know if you just started your company, because I didn't. Or oh, that's right, you were doing it like part time, if I remember right, and you're trying to like get it built up so you can do it full time, if I remember right. And by the way, if you guys are liking the stream, like I said, hit that thumbs up button. Let me know that you guys, I see we got like 2 likes right now, and there's 4 of you watching. If you like the stream so far, hit that thumbs up. Let me know. And plus, that helps other people that are looking to start and grow a pest control business see the video in the future once it, either one, if they're searching right now live, or also if they, search it in the future, it'll help them discover this channel and this video and all that stuff as well. But like I was mentioning, one of the questions, because I'm always getting questions on different videos and stuff, ones that we posted recently, work at Rent-A-Center, that's right, okay, so yeah, you've been in business for about 2 months now, awesome. One of the questions that I got recently, oh my gosh, what was it? We got on all these subjects, and I forgot the question. That's why I need to start writing the stuff down instead of just going off of memory. New Jersey had a lot of restricted use pesticides. I go to many clients who sprayed their home with Wow. Yeah, Demon's not even a commonly used chemical. Down here, at least, we use so many different chemicals here. One of the questions that I get consistently, not even really on YouTube, but just from different people in general, like whenever I'm out and about, like other pest control technicians, and who knows, maybe people that are searching for the videos, don't want to ask these type of questions or whatever the case may be, but they'll ask me, how did you make the jump? The jump is in, obviously there's a lot of unknowns. Whenever you go to start your own business, there's, no insurance. That's the main thing that I hear from most people is insurance and 401k, retirement, right? The security blankets, so to speak. And how I explain it to a lot of people, and if you're on the fence right now and you're hanging on to a job because of these quote-unquote security blankets, let me just break it down to you like this. This is how I think about jobs in general, and a lot of people that I know who have jobs think that I'm crazy for thinking this way. People literally in my own family will kind of make fun of me sometimes because of it, but whatever. Look at me and look at them. Not a flex or anything, but I mean, it is what it is. Why would you put trust in a company who you are supposed to give a 2-week notice to before firing them as your employer, but they can literally fire you, especially if you live in a right to work state like we do here in Texas, where they could literally fire you tomorrow? What's so secure about that? Exactly. Obviously, assuming that you're doing your job and, you're not causing a lot of drama in the workplace and stuff like that, more times than not, you will be safe, but there's no guarantee still, right? I mean, all it takes is for COVID to happen, some crazy worldwide pandemic, worldwide recession, whatever the case may be. Go and look back just, 14, 15 years ago, 07, 08, even up through 09, when millions of people were getting laid off, losing their jobs, having to cut back, losing their homes left and right. Like, do you think those people, were thinking the same thing? They thought, man, I got a good job, I got good benefits. This is security right here. Like, this is the American dream, right? We see it. We see it every time a recession happens, and I would rather personally be in control of my environment as much as I can in terms of, one, we're lucky enough to be in an industry where you were just bringing up what and that's kind of where I was even going, where we're in an industry where it's pretty much recession proof. Some studies even show, like what Bug Bucks was talking about, which I think Rat King just mentioned as well, which shout out to them, they have a great podcast as too, by the way, a great podcast with a lot of great information on there. It's recession proof. I mean, I don't necessarily believe 1,000%, like, obviously, I don't want to say, I hate using the word recession proof, but it's as close to recession proof as you can get. Are you going to have customers that inevitably drop off because people lose their jobs, and they got to kind of just evaluate, at least in the short term, what is important? Like, hey, we got to eat. Like, we can't afford to pay our pest control because, like, that's like 3 days of groceries for us, or whatever the case may be, right? If it comes down to it, we're like in a depression, may not be depression proof, but it is recession proof. And a lot of studies actually show that our industry that we're in, the pest control industry, pest control companies actually grow in times of recession. For example, we go back during COVID, yes, we were essential first and foremost, but second, people were home. So when people are home a lot, what are they naturally going to see a lot more of? Got tired of their boss, definitely me. I've never been good at that. But yeah, it makes sense, right? If you're not home a lot, that's less chance that you're gonna see pests, which means what? That's less chance that they're gonna call you. Where whenever everybody's, working from home, I have noticed since people work from home, the calls are through the roof. Not just through the roof, but they're through the roof on the smallest of issues. I'll have customers who, they'll say, hey, we got ants in the kitchen. I'll go out there literally sometimes even same day or next day, no ants to be found. Well, I know there's ants, so I want to go ahead, give me your full year coverage or one-time service or, whatever they sign up for. Where if they weren't home, that very well could have just been what I refer to in layman terms as a spin up, where, we got a lot of rain all of a sudden, it's stirring some stuff up. Within a few days, a lot of times they'll go away, assuming you're not a dirty mofo, right? We all know how those go, have a little ant stir up or whatever, and then they kind of go away after a few days. A lot of people have that, but since they're home now more than ever, they see it, they call, they want to get it nipped in the butt, and a lot of times if you can make a good impression, they'll stay with you. So, yeah, I mean, from that standpoint, COVID was a blessing to the pest control industry and to my business. I know for a fact as we started in 2020, and I just see that continuing because of, I mean, we see it. I mean, COVID happened 3 years ago. Hard to believe, right? It's been, 3 years now that we've been in this, and people are still working from home. I don't think it's ever going to go away. Now, we're slowly but surely seeing more and more people go back to the office, but they're doing the whole hybrid thing where, they're only going to the office maybe like 1 day a week. I have a customer that literally goes in like 2 days a month. So, again, the more that people are home, the more opportunities there are for them to see. All it takes for a lot of people is one bug. You gotta think, women don't like bugs. Any of you men here that, I know we got women too that watch, and I'm sure, I'm not gonna call any of them out by name, but I have a couple customers who are men even that are like, bro, I ain't gonna lie, bro, I hate spiders. I hate spiders, man, I can't do it. Gotta get rid of these spiders, right? Like, people just don't like bugs. So, with the more opportunities to see that, it's just gonna continue to help our industry. let's see, 20 stops a day. Wow. Yeah. No, thank you. During COVID, anyone else get clients with a mask and a face shield? Yeah. Yeah, I didn't have any quite that crazy, but I'll still from time to time get one who wants me to wear a mask or whatever, and I gladly put on my mask that says it was never about science, it was about control. And that one gets me some looks. I actually wore that to my wife's first uh, pregnancy appointment, and the doctor didn't have us wear them anymore. Let's see. I got sick, I had no insurance. Oh, and you didn't have insurance there. How do you guys feel about going door to door, commercial or residential? So door to door, depending on, for the commercial side, I'll attack the commercial side first. Couldn't tell if someone was knocking on my window if it was my dogs. The commercial side first. What was I gonna say? Oh, yeah, total brain fart. The dogs threw me off back there outside. When it comes to commercial, I find a lot of times, at least here in the DFW Metroplex, it's a very tight community in terms of we have a lot of suburbs, right? If you zoom in on DFW, you'll see there are suburbs everywhere. Like I could just start name dropping 20, 30 of them. You know, we got Garland, Rowlett, Heath, Mesquite, Forney, Roy City, Rockwall, Cotto Mills, I don't know if I said Roy City, but Roy City, Nevada, Lavon, Plano, Frisco, Wiley. Like the list just goes on and on and on, right? So with that, there's people a lot of times will be very, very loyal to a business that is, you know, at least within a 5 mile or so radius of their business location. And same thing with residential too, but I wanted to attack the commercial side first. For example, we are in Rowlett. If you look at the map, directly to the east of us is Rockwall, directly to the north is Wiley, directly to the northwest is Saxe, directly to the west is Garland, and then directly to the south would be like Mesquite and Heath, essentially. So I get a lot of business, obviously from the residential side because of the local SEO aspect, but a lot of times I will go into mom and pop stores. For example, there's an awesome coffee shop that went up here. Shout out to Drizzle here in Rowlett, Texas. They just opened up this year, and amazing coffee, by the way. Oh my gosh, I'm not a huge coffee drinker, but my God, every time I go in there, I gotta get a drink. And you know, I went in there probably 3 or 4 times. You know, I could tell right off the bat after 3 or 4 times, like who was there every day in terms of who the owner was. Kind of introduced myself, this and that. I didn't even end up asking for business. One of the owners ended up calling me and saying, hey, you know, notice like your logo and whatnot. Notice that you were local too. We need pest control for, of course, you know, city ordinances or whatever. How much do you charge? And boom, we got them as a customer. Point being, I feel like, and that's just one example. I got multiple cases that are like that. And sometimes I'll be the one to go introduce myself and, you know, ask for the business ultimately. But my point is, with that, I feel like it's a lot easier to do it from that standpoint. I wouldn't go across a Metroplex or anything and try. I would just, you know, hit up your local businesses, you know, do some business with them multiple times first, show that, you know, you're taking interest in their business. And then also, not even necessarily from a quote-unquote door-knocking standpoint, join some, you know, local networks like, what are they? Those Chamber of Commerces and stuff like that. You'll meet a lot of, again, local business owners who could definitely use your service. So from the commercial side, yeah, that'd be my tips for that. And then residential, of course, door knocking has, you know, stood the, you know, test of time. You know, that it has survived as long as cockroaches, it seems. I don't ever see it necessarily going completely away, but yeah, I mean, people, especially if you're a local company, they're going to be a lot more susceptible to, you know, listening to your pitch. Want to make sure I'm not, oops, missing any questions here, because I see you guys going at it in the chat. Texas, I used to hang door hangers. Let's see. Yeah, no license needed, exactly. And you're not knocking either. Around here, people get pissed. You knock on their door. Yeah, Aptiv really fucked it up for everybody, it seems. Yeah, I love door hangers too. Door hangers, or even a good old-fashioned business card, whatever you got. I was putting up yard signs on the poles. Man, I hate that the comments fade away on the screen. Putting up yard signs on the poles, always get them taken down. Oh yeah, probably competition. Yeah, competition, or some freaking Karen. It's hard to say. I actually just ordered some of the little yard signs myself. They're just like 6x6. They should be here hopefully this upcoming week, if not the next week at the latest. I'll definitely post a picture in our group on Discord and our Facebook group as well, and probably even here on YouTube. I always forget on YouTube we have like posts now where we can post pictures, polls, all that stuff on YouTube. Put in any class. Yeah, and that's actually, I'm glad that Rat King brought that up. That's why I actually bought our yard signs. Is I notice exactly lawn guys do it, and I find I'm very close to a lot of my customers. Walked into a new of course. Yeah, I'm sure we've all had that situation at least once or twice if you've been in the industry longer than 2 to 5 years. My world. But yeah, I'm very close with a lot of my customers, and none of them have remotely said like, no, don't put stuff in my yard, don't. A lot of them, in all honesty, they're willing, especially once you've treated them for a while and you've gotten close to them, they're a lot of times some of your biggest advocates for your business. I notice sometimes it can take about a year to 2 years, but once you've kind of been, you're almost like part of the family. They're used to seeing your face every 1 to 3 months. They almost feel like you're part of the family, and they want to help you out. So yeah, no, I don't see any pushback happening, at least on my end. Matter of time, never. Yeah, right. Yeah, it's never someone you're proud to see either. Yeah. But yeah, no, I think the yard sign things, especially down here, and I'm sure it's everywhere. Like I said, I'm just going based off of my experience here in the Dallas, Texas area. Lots of companies. I mean, even roofing companies. Roofing companies will get these big, they almost look like political signs in terms of the, those yard signs that are probably about 18 inches wide. Like anytime, because we get a lot of hailstorms down here, especially this year, it's been crazy. After any hailstorm, you'll see a bunch of these giant roofing signs where any company that did a roofing job, they'll smack that sign right in the yard. And I mean, sure enough, it gets people's attention, and you drive around a neighborhood and you'll see multiple of those signs. And how do you think those signs get there? One person sees it, they call them, boom, another sign, boom, another sign. Similar to, of course, it's just another form of advertising, just like using Google Ads, Google Local Services, local SEO. I compare it to almost like local SEO, right? Referring back to the yard signs being put in the yards is very similar to doing local SEO. If someone looks up, in ways it can be better than local SEO. Dare I say a print ad of any kind is better than digital marketing? Think about it. How many times do damn, I need to call such and such about, such and such going on in my house. And you just forget, and you forget, and you forget, and you forget. And I mean, days and weeks and even months can go on before you finally get to it. But how many times have you had that happen, and then your next door neighbor has a sign in their yard, you're pulling up from work, and you see they had something done similar by a company that, you don't know any company, but you see, hey, Jane Doe next door used Joe the plumber. Let's go ahead and call Joe the plumber, because you see the sign in the yard. right? So in ways, using those kind of ads in terms of print ads with signage and whatnot, it can be better than even digital marketing, because with our digital marketing, we're depending on the consumer searching for certain keywords and stuff, where with the signage and whatnot, as soon as you put that stake in the ground, it's there until, of course, the customer decides to go ahead and pull it out of the ground or whatever the case may be. But there's a lot of opportunities with it, and it's very cheap. We found a sign company who, like I said, we're just getting some little signs, 6" by 6", and it was the most expensive this time because we had to upload our actual, what we wanted, like our design. That was a $25 one-time fee. But if you subtract that, even with the small order we purchased, because I always like to order small first time using any company just to make sure that everything goes right, and then I'll order bulk or whatever. We purchased like 80 signs or 100 signs, something like that. And if you subtract the price of the $25, it came out to like just under $1 per sign. And once you start purchasing 200 plus, it comes out to like literally 30 cents a sign. Like, I mean, it's such a minimal price that all it takes is one customer. Same thing with the things like door hangers, right? All it takes is one call, one customer, and that door hanger just, that one customer just paid for all of those door hangers and then some, right? So definitely don't sleep on them. Definitely, plug in a QR code, something where you can track where they came from. And of course, old fashioned, hey, how'd you hear about us, by the way, when you're on the phone with them, goes a long way too with tracking and everything. But all good ways, of course, to advertise your company for a relatively cheap price. Let's see. Every new client for business cards. Yep. Exactly. And that's one area I even could improve on. I've been so focused on the whole local SEO aspect and getting a bunch of reviews. We're so close to 100 reviews now on our Google page. I'm trying to just really keep hitting hard on Google reviews, which of course review velocity matters, not just the number. But of course there's something to be said about a company that hits 100 plus reviews, in my opinion, and most customers' opinion too. But yeah, I've been focusing so hard on just trying to get reviews that I've actually been forgetting to hand out my business cards as well. But yeah, that's a very good method as well. Mention to them that, hey, if you offer some kind of referral program, hey, by the way, if you refer us to your customer, your neighbor, or any friends and local people, we give a discount for that. But I believe my wife may have just got home, so I'm gonna go ahead and wrap the stream up. It's been a great, almost hour that we've been going at it tonight. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this stream. Hit that thumbs up button, let me know. If you have any questions, give me a shout in the comments below. And like I said, our Discord group chat and our Facebook group are totally free and in the description box below if you're not already in there. And like I said, I'll be posting a video tomorrow as well that I think you guys will really enjoy as well. A lot of number breakdown. I got a new whiteboard for you guys to, actually be able to do, math and show you guys examples of things on how we bundle our services and all that type of stuff. So that, like I said, that one's a lengthy video as well. I think it's also about 40 minutes or so, but definitely that's a video that I think you guys will really benefit from for sure. So I appreciate all of y'all tuning in. Subscribe if you're watching for the first time or anything like that, seeing this after it, uploads from a live to a video. And keep on going out there, getting the life that you and your family deserve. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Take it easy, everybody. Have a good weekend.